My name is Mara, and at 34 I learned my chair came with conditions. At my parents' 35th anniversary party, my father pointed me toward the garage and said it was for extended family only. Gold chairs waited under the lights for every cousin, every uncle, every in-law, including the one who once sold my grandmother's earrings. I stood in a doorway smelling of motor oil. What they did not know was that the silver-wrapped package under my arm was worth more than every centerpiece on that table. What I did with it emptied their house in 3 weeks. I am a forensic accountant. I spend my days in windowless rooms with bank statements and lies that usually surface on page 9. In the family that raised me, I was never the daughter who needed checking on. I was the one who checked. I caught late bills, arranged holidays, drove my grandmother to appointments, and kept the calendar alive. My mother, Elise, loved anniversaries the way some people love trophies. She wanted gold chairs, real linen, the porch in every photo. Make sure, she told me, which meant Mara will handle it. So I booked the lodge, hired the caterer, rented the quartet, and built the seating chart. I also worked on the gift. My parents' one wedding photo, sun-faded and taped inside a cabinet, restored and framed in walnut, tucked inside a folder beneath the tax records for the lake cabin my grandfather left behind. After Grandpa died, my father let taxes slide until the county threatened a lien. I found the notices, paid the back taxes and penalties myself, and kept every receipt. The party arrived in August behind the Elks Lodge. 60 guests, string quartet, flowers I had chosen, my grandmother in her wheelchair at table 1. I checked the seating chart and saw my name nowhere. Then, my father found me at the gate and steered me toward the garage like he was doing me a favor. One folding chair waited there beside a mower and a stack of cones. I sat alone and watched my own party through the open breezeway while the quartet played the song I had requested. After 11 minutes, the hurt sharpened into arithmetic. 15 years of unpaid labor, 4 years of cabin taxes, a silver folder full of proof. They had not forgotten me. They had assigned me a place outside the family and expected obedience. When my mother finally noticed me leaving the garage, she said, "Mara, don't make this hard. You always understand." I held up the gift and said, "Not anymore." I went home and opened my phone. The family chat held the truth in plain text. Seating updates, a joke about giving me the garage, and my brother's laughing emoji. Nobody had bothered to delete it. The insult had been handled like scheduling. That was the moment the confusion broke. I had mistaken usefulness for belonging. So I stopped. I removed myself as admin, canceled reminders, redirected vendors, and let the house learn how thin its own wiring was. Appointments were missed. Bills went unpaid. My brother forgot birthdays. My father's plumber stood on the porch with no one expecting him. Then the cabin assessment arrived, addressed to my father. I told him the county office hours and hung up. He had never heard no from the person who always fixed things. By winter, my grandmother understood me better than anyone. She told me my mother had once been the family organizer too, until she handed the burden to me and forgot what it cost. That did not excuse her, but it explained her blindness. When Ruth's birthday dinner came, I arrived with a manila folder and the same folding chair from the garage. I leaned it against the wall behind my seat. My father spoke first, demanding I transfer the cabin account back. I opened the folder and laid out every payment, every receipt, every task I had carried since 2009. Then I opened the silver package. Inside was the restored wedding photo and a card. 35 years of the family. Here are 35 more. The cabin is clear, free, and yours. Love, Mara. The table went silent. My father turned red, then angry, then small. He called me dramatic. I told him the truth. He had not built the family. I had kept it running. My mother tried to reach for my hand, but I was done lending it. I told them I was not disappearing. I was just going home to my own table. 3 weeks later, the house was still functioning badly, and the apology still had not come. That was fine. I had a new table, a new support group for women like me, and a life that no longer required permission. The restored photograph hangs in my hallway now. Every morning I pass it and remember the lesson hidden inside the silver wrapping. A seat you have to earn every day was never really yours. The people who love you pull it out before you arrive in my own home.